Hello, my name is Lizzie. Welcome to my channel, and for today's video, we're going to be talking about the Axe Murders of Villisca. Available to watch on Hulu within the US. That is just where I watched it. If you are outside of the US, I am unsure of where you can watch it, so I do apologize in advance, but I'm sure it's somewhere online available for VOD. So this film is a fictional film that is based on a true event. Sort of. So it's in reference to the Moore House murders, which if you have not heard about, I highly suggest looking into, especially if you are a true crime fan. It's very interesting. I know there's a lot of podcasts that have talked about it, I think, and that's why Drink has talked about it, along with like Wine and Crime, Cult Leader. I think all three of those have probably talked about this, but you can definitely find information on the true story behind the inspiration for this film if you just look up the Moore House murders. And it's definitely very interesting. Now, this film, like I said, it's fictional. That is just a little bit of the backstory to it. But it is basically about these three friends who adventure into taking a tour of this house. They kind of go on the official tour, but they decide to sneak in after hours to try to get a little bit more information and maybe do a little bit of a ghost hunt. They kind of run a ghost hunt channel. And it's very interesting. I will say the film was really good for probably about the first half or so of the film. I felt a lot of people's reviews kind of felt the same, that it was towards the end of the film started to really lack, and which was unfortunate. The characters were really great. They were very likable, especially our main protagonist of the film. He was very likable, and the story was going pretty strong. But unfortunately, towards kind of the end of this film, it does start to get a little lost in its own story. And unfortunately, because of that, it ends up doing this thing of over-explaining itself, which is never good in a horror film, but it's kind of forced to because the story just gets lost and entangled, and there's so much detail. And that was just a really big, unfortunate part of this film. I wish that they would have stuck more to focusing on the true crime that it's based off of. I think that would have been a lot stronger, but they tried to initiate this supernatural side to it with possession and things, and that just got very lost. Now, I did like the way that they did the possessions. I thought it was very interesting. I won't get into too much of those details just because I don't want to completely spoil it, but I thought it was but I liked it, but they end up over-explaining what they're doing with the possession, and there's like a whole scene where the demon or so that is possessing them explains that, and it was just like, okay, we get that. You don't need to explain yourself, but then you don't really find out anything about the demon. There's no backstory behind it, and that is also unfortunate because it really doesn't explain why the current events are happening, even though they try, and why the events happened in the past. Like, they just do, and there's no real good enough detail of that, and that was really unfortunate. But I think if you are looking for a film that is a fun time, that you don't have to take too seriously, this is definitely a really great one for that. It's a great one to just sit back and relax and watch. I will say there are some trigger warnings in this film for sexual assault, revenge porn, I guess, and some hate speech, specifically towards the LGBTQ plus community. So just some trigger warnings for any of that if that may affect you, but it's not too heavy. They don't show a lot of, as far as the sexual assault parts, they don't really show a lot of graphicness for that. It's just but you get the idea that that's what happened. So just be forewarned if if you decide to go into watching this. I liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought aside from the entangled ending, I thought all the actors did a really, really good job. And again, the characters, for the most part, were very likable, except for, of course, the bad guys who you're not supposed to like. So if you have actually seen this film, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this review, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content. Before I go, a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for helping to contribute to the channel. If you want to know the perks to being a Patreon, links are in the description below, along with all of my other social media. And I will see you guys again later with another video. Bye!